As we're waiting for that to get started, everyone's checked in up here, right? I just want to make sure we don't miss anybody. Yes. We're on? All right, everyone. Let's go ahead and get started. Good evening. This is the Planning and Design Review Board meeting for the Village of Biscayne Park for Monday, February 26, 2020. Now 6:33. Do the roll call. Edward Leyva. Here. Scarlett Hammonds.
Here.
David Gruen. Here. Gage Hartung, I'm here, as well as Raphael, Denisha, and Linda from the building department. I want to welcome Denisha. She'll be now working with us as our building coordinator, correct?
Yes.
Right, Tyler? I did. Yeah. Okay, so we'll go ahead and we'll get started. We're gonna go to with the residents that are on the agenda that are here. We'll go in order of the agenda, and hopefully we got everyone, and I'm not gonna miss anybody. First will be 5A, 665 Northeast 120th Street, shingles and flat re-roof, Mario Montero. De Piro. Hello?
Good evening. My name is Rocky with Amador Roofing. I did notice that on the agenda, you guys have it listed as a shingle and flat re-roof. That application was changed to a metal and flat re-roof. And flat.
Okay. We looked at this before and we tabled it or denied it because of the letter, correct?
Correct.
It's the
Yep,
shingles, correct?
you did.
Okay, so now you're gonna go to metal?
Yep, now we're going to metal.
So did you submit the paperwork? We have a
Yes.
overhang and color?
Yes.
Let's scroll to the bottom. There's a lot.
And I have copies of the overhang if you guys need it with the measurements here also in case you need it for an exhibit.
So gray, you want to do charcoal gray?
Yes, I have a color here if you guys want to see it.
Because I see black is listed too, but.
Yeah, it was a matte black and a charcoal gray that we had submitted earlier, but we have the gray here.
Okay, because gray is one of the pre-approved colors, one of the pre-approved colors.
This is,
The
yeah.
overhang thing.
Okay, so there's a form that you have to submit that denotes all of the overhangs and what is your pitch on that?
Pitch on the roof is a 312.
312.
Yes.
You know that form that we're talking about that talks about.
Yeah.
6-inch fascia?
Yeah. Do you mind if I bring this in?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry, this is. Yeah. That's the one. And you'll just have to make sure you upload it.
Yeah, it was uploaded today.
You're providing a 22-inch overhang, looks like 24 on another,
On the gable.
pretty much all the way
Yep.
around.
Exactly.
And the fascia is,
6 inches on the gables.
so there is actually a form that is, if you come here really quick.
Sure.
Yeah, it looks just like this, where, Murph might have it there. That basically you have to write in here the mean overhang that you have, and the required, the fascia, so, and then you have to sign it. Attesting that the roof has the, so but you have to upload it. You can't just hand it to us. Yeah, it has to be loaded to the portal. Murphy might have a copy of it there, but, it should be available online, right? Okay. It could be that we're looking at a Dropbox that was created probably on Friday, so if
Okay.
it was uploaded today, there's a chance that. What, do you have it there? It's here, but it's blank.
Okay. Sure.
That's the form you think you uploaded today?
Yeah, I think it was that one. I should have sworn it was still there. Is it filled in on the ones that I put there, or is that a different one? It's just
You just have photos. There's no form there.
So I'd make a motion to approve contingent upon submitting that warrant.
He does, and let me look at it real quick.
It is there, it's not there. It is there.
Okay, so it's 6 inches and 21.
Yes. Motion to approve.
Second.
Okay, that was Ed and David. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 4-0.
Do they need to?
You're good, thank you.
All right, thank you.
You want this?
It's the gray, by the way, just confirm, it's not the black. Yeah, just making sure, because what we have here, they're black and gray are circled, so we just want to confirm we're approving gray now. Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Have a good day.
All right, next will be 5B, 971 Northeast 111th Street, main entrance gate. Raphael Marchi. Hello,
Color
sir.
chart. You get a circle of both colors. But it's fine, just want to make sure that we're only approving the gray. Black is not a free color, gray is.
Okay, so I believe this was a previously approved gate that was 3 feet high. Do we have the original in here, the original approval? I just have the new application here. Yeah, so we approved a 3-foot wide aluminum gate in the front. And what was built was a,
No, the thing is after,
Mm.
basically we did the driveway. And when we redid the driveway, we enlarged it.
Can you speak closer to the microphone,
right.
Raphael? Thank you.
So we redid the driveway. And when we redid the driveway, we enlarged it. But that was done, basically we had that one approved and that was installed. And after we did the driveway, we enlarged the driveway, so by 4 feet.
okay,
I think the issue wasn't the width of the opening, right? It was the height.
well, you're allowed 5, hold on, I'm just trying to pull it up.
6 feet.
6 feet wide?
No,
You're allowed to have it, well,
Five wide, 6 high.
5 wide, that's what, okay, 5 foot wide, 6 foot high. You're allowed to have a pedestrian gate. And you're
Yeah,
at
that's what it
4
is, a
feet
pedestrian.
wide, 8 feet high, 8 feet high.
Yes. Will it be possible to do a variant for this?
I mean, you have every right to ask for a variance, but the question is what is your hardship?
But the thing
Have
is,
an 8-foot
because
gate
right now,
over what the code allows you, the code generously allows you to have a 6-foot gate and you go for 8. You have every right to ask for it, but I would be curious to know what. would
no,
be
but so
reasonable.
basically the concrete slab right now is 4 feet wide. So the only way for me to put the column is right after each of them, so it's like 8
Yeah,
feet. so I
the
put-
width is
Yeah.
fine. The problem is
I mean, no, the
back-
8 is 8, not 4, 8, sorry.
Well, the issue is the height of it.
It's both. It's
It's
two
8,
4 foot
yeah, 2
panels.
4 feet panels, yes.
So it's a massive 8 foot wide, 8 foot tall pedestrian gate.
Yeah, and the issue is that the concrete slab that I have there, they 8 foot long.
Okay, well, I mean, that's a slab on the ground. I mean, it could be the gate. is
Yes.
Smaller than the slab. But our code is very clear on what, you're allowed to have for a pedestrian gate. And 8 feet by 8 feet is too big.
What is this technically after the fact permit application? Is that what this is? Because-
Well, from what I understand, we approved a 3-foot gate.
Yeah.
And what was built was an 8-foot gate. So
No, we did
it's a
the
code enforcement. Do you have an approval of us approving the 8-foot gate? So.
No, I don't,
Making any
because
changes?
I did the first one, the 3 by 6, I think it was. And then later on, like, I don't know, like maybe like a year after, I did the driveway. And when we redid the driveway, we basically added another panel because the concrete slab was so wide.
But you didn't come in for approval for that, for changing the gate to.
No, we
from
did not.
3 to 8,
No.
yeah.
we did
Um,
not. So right now I took them down.
Okay.
So now I would like to see if there's any chance that like we'll
Well, you do, like you know, every client, every resident has a right to ask for a variance to the code.
Yes.
There's a 4 point, 4 points that you have to meet, every point, all 4 of them. And, you know, one of them is proving that there is a hardship or that's something that is preventing you from using your property by having a 8-foot gate instead of a 6-foot gate. So again, the code is being very generous in allowing you to have a 6-foot gate. What is your
Yes.
hardship to have that additional 2 feet high and 3 feet wide, or 3 feet wide? Yes. But that's your choice to go through the expense and the process of doing it, and you
Yes.
might actually, you know, we don't vote for it, the commission votes for it, we make a recommendation. But, again, it would be you would have to prove your case that there's a need. to have
Okay,
it.
so if I cannot go 8 foot high, can I go at least 8 foot width? So I can
I mean,
have
the code is- the code is written-
the double gate on that one?
If it's not within those dimensions, it's gonna be most likely denied, I would imagine, because that's what we do, is we vote on what the code says. If you want to go larger, then you have to go through a variance.
Okay. Okay, I will, yeah, I will need,
We'd have to make a motion to deny based on 8-foot by 8-foot gate.
Yeah, and then that would allow you, if you want
do
to,
the-
then go
try
through
to the variance.
thing. Or you could see, if you have a 3-foot gate still, see if you could figure a way to make that work, because if you put that in, we already approved that. But, so I would second that.
David, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
okay.
Sorry.
And you're welcome to, you know, there's an variance application on the website, I believe, and they will work with you in the village hall to write it up. So, thank you, sir.
Do you think we could tell the guy that has the little tiny kids next to?
Mr. Cohen, well, everyone else is okay.
Yeah. You guys are okay. We let the guy with the little tiny kids go next. Thanks, guys.
All right, but I believe that's 6K, 11638 North, and thank you, everybody, for doing that. 11638 Northeast 7th Avenue, carport installation, Cohen.
Now we find out they aren't his kids and he was doing that to skip the line.
Thank you, guys. I have no choice. I'm on daddy duty tonight.
Hello, sir, how are you tonight?
How's it going, Gage?
Okay.
Is this also an after the fact?
Yeah, this is after the fact. I didn't know we needed a permit for a carport. I do now.
Really? I mean, you've been through a lot with us on the.
Yeah, I never had a
And you-
carport,
And you didn't.
never had a carport before.
Okay, so setbacks, we have a carport that is. What are the dimensions on this? I'm sorry, let me scroll through this entire thing. It says 9.8 foot high, 9 foot long by 15. So the width and the length is 20 by 20 max, but the setback has got to be 5 feet from the property line. So where does the post of this sit on?
It's within my property line.
No, but it's got to be 5, carports are allowed in the front, but their maximum size is 20 by 20.
Okay,
And they have to be no closer than 5 feet to the front property line, the post.
okay.
So where do these posts land on your survey? I mean, there's a little like diagram here, but it's not telling me where they are.
Well, I have a, let's say 5-6 feet hedge of clusias, so, and it's within that, so maybe 10 feet, I would think. I'd have to measure though. I don't want to speak out of.
Yeah. Is there a picture?
Right, so normally when we get the site plans, you did measure and you do a little drawing in here.
Yeah,
That's our
I
picture.
submitted, but I mean, I didn't put the exact dimensions on the.
Yeah, no, the setback is what we're
Yeah,
looking at. Wanna know how
okay.
many
I'd
feet.
have to come back with that. Or,
Yeah, and then just put a little square where it is and then how many.
And
feet
the
away.
other thing too is, we need to see your lot coverage. You now have a pool. right?
Yeah,
And so you have a 50% maximum lot coverage on the lot?
the pool is it's a prefab,
Yeah, but
not-
it's still.
It's not a concrete pool.
It doesn't matter. Anything that is a development that's on your property is considered lot coverage.
Okay.
So pool, walkways, house, the garage. So that's the other thing that would be
Well, I just
just
wanna,
a calculation on the lot coverage. Do we want to table this for next meeting and for further information?
Yeah.
so I mean, there's only 2 posts going into the ground.
Mhm.
And they're about 2 feet by 1 feet. So it's not taking that much space. So like for the lot coverage area, I don't think it's,
It would include the parking surface below that. That's an improvement, right? So it's just anything that's not landscaping. Like your driveway is part of that calculation, your parking spot, part of that calculation. Pool, your house, your garage, walkways, anything that's not
every,
sod or landscaping.
the whole spot or under the carport is considered,
It's
even
parking, it's a parking spot, right? So it's,
it was a parking spot before that.
no, I'm saying, so that's just,
Yeah.
that's part of the tally, right? A
Yeah.
parking space.
Yeah, I get it, but I
driveway.
mean, for the actual footings of the carport, it's only a 2, it's one of those modern ones.
Yeah, but you're asking about the lot coverage calculation.
Yeah.
50%, yeah, so.
The parking
parking
lot is already
spot-
included. I've already calculated that and I had a lot more left. I don't think the 2 feet extra.
We
that-
we just have to.
Maybe
have
not.
it
There's just
as a
nothing
part of the.
Part of the application, yeah.
You might be well under
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
50. It just has to be there that, hey, yeah, what I'm doing, I'm redoing an existing part of.
But I thought I had submitted that in all the forms that I did on.
It's not here that we have, maybe
No?
we did, but you can do.
So they just showed us a picture of it.
Yeah.
And typically telephone poles delineate the front property line. So you appear to be right at the telephone poles with those posts. We'll give you the opportunity to measure it and come back with
Yeah.
us with the proper information. But just from appearances, it appears it's not 5 feet from the front property line.
Okay, so then I would
Yes.
have to go for variance.
If you can, yeah.
Or, I mean,
'Cause I'm-
the fact of the matter is if you flip the orientation so the poles.
Could
are
actually
away-
technically put the poles on the other side if they would be more than 5 feet from this
Well,
property
that's-
line, but then do we consider the roof line part of the setback?
Part of
I
the,
mean, it's one thing to have.
it's the
It's one
carport,
thing to have a
it's all part of the carport, right? So the
Roof-
code is the carport, it doesn't say the column of the carport, it's
So
the,
it's the actual carport. So it's the shape.
everything.
So the 9.8 by 9 foot by 15 feet has to be within no closer than 5 feet to the front.
In any case, I don't think it makes a difference to him, because if he has to move the post, that's where his foundations are at that point. He's moving the whole thing, it's not like it's gonna save him trouble by just flipping it around.
Well, it's not that easy to move that thing, you know what I mean? Once it's installed, it's.
Yeah.
But like I said, you'll take measurements, but
Yeah.
it's pretty evident from the photo, it's probably not
Yeah.
set back the 5 feet that's required.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess
So
I'm gonna
for your
apply for.
motion to table it.
Yeah.
Based
Yeah.
on,
Table,
he's gonna provide further
Dimension
dimensional.
drawings?
So if I do this.
The actual setbacks, the setbacks of the
For
structure.
variance, you guys have to reject it for me to go the variance?
Yeah, so if you want, we can reject it now.
Well, if you're saying that I'm on the line, you're gonna reject it next meeting, let's just,
Well, unless you think that it
Uh,
might be 5 feet, if it's more than 5. Property
it's,
line.
it's there,
Take your
so.
measurements, because we can reject and hear the variance at the next hearing, right?
Yes.
The two things can happen on the same hearing, so let's reject it based on real information, not, hey. I
Not
didn't
on,
do this.
conjecture.
Okay,
I'd rather
that's
have
fine.
the actual
Fair enough.
dimensions for us.
If we have to reject it, maybe it's 5 feet, right?
Fair enough.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I have a motion to table, please.
Made one.
Okay.
Second.
Ed, David, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you,
Motion
guys. Have a good
Thank
evening.
you, sir.
For protocol, if you measure, it, it's not 5 feet and you want to go for the variance, make sure that it's a separate application.
Yeah.
So you just work that out with the building department. Okay. So that it's on the agenda next time as a variance request, right?
Thank you. Okay, I just want to make sure 6A is not here. Sasani Mullen? Nope, okay, so 6B, 740, Northeast 120th Street, new window installation improvement developers, LLC.
Hey, good night.
Hello, it's the second. Let's leave him here. I'll get from this. Okay. Just looking at the site map, and I'm just, you know, I know I could probably scroll down through the 164 pages, but what part of the house faces the street?
This is a new construction project. The master is already approved. This is a sub permit for the
Okay.
windows only.
Are all the windows, do they all match?
Yeah,
Okay, they're all the same style?
they're all the same style with black frames.
There a floor plan in this package?
I mean, there's something on page,
There is the shop drawings, the
Yeah,
the master
details
permit,
of
yeah,
the-
page like
the
3.
master permit have all the elevations and all the. It's the same information. This is only the shop drawing.
Like page 3 and 4 have an actual floor plan.
Of the PDF or of the drawings that are numbered? 'Cause I-
Of the
The
P,
numbers that are drawing are P1-101 and P1 UP-102. Oh, so there's like some upper story, clear story windows above.
3 of 1.
740, yeah, 6B. I mean, it looks like there are a lot of sliders and fixed windows.
This is the one in the cul-de-sac. like
Yeah.
you said.
Yeah. Down at the corner, yeah.
It looks sliders, a lot of sliders and fixed.
Yeah, it's just the same as the original plans, the master permit that is been already revised and approved. So it's just the shop drawings of the windows.
I'll take a motion.
Motion to approve.
Second.
David and then Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. We're all good? Okay. All right.
I have another question. I
Sure.
also have for the same project, we have the roofing and pool permit. It's also approved on the master. We just need the sub permit.
No, you need to have sub permits for each one of those
Yeah, no, I know. I already submitted. It's
Are they
the
on here?
application.
for tonight's
I don't know
agenda?
if it's for tonight, but I applied for all them last week.
No, it didn't make it to tonight's agenda, but I mean, it's a flat roof, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a flat roof,
It should pretty much go right through fast.
Oh,
And then
yeah.
What was the second?
pool,
Pool?
the pool.
And the pool is basically already covered in the master as far as
Yes.
lot coverage and stuff. You just have to pull a pool permit.
Yeah, I already did.
So just have them put it on the next agenda and we'll look at it. It should be fine.
Okay,
Because we've already looked at it. So that one's tabled.
thank you. Good night.
This one we approved. Thank you, sir. All right, next would be 6C, 967 Northeast 117th Street, windows and doors, PRBP 2 LLC.
Okay, now this one, where's the site plan? 'Cause that's the PDF I was in scrolling. How do you say? There's a site plan in any of this?
Honestly, the person that does our permit submitted everything. Do you want me to call quickly?
This is the house on the corner of 10th, right?
Yeah,
So this is the window permit, correct?
correct.
Why are there windows in the house? And there've been windows in the house for months.
That's a good question. I
Okay.
mean, this is, yeah. They
So-
installed the windows without having this, apparently.
Well, I mean, they ordered the windows without having the
Well,
permit.
yes.
I mean, that's a very big risk thing on your behalf.
I ordered the windows without having.
Order
yes.
windows without
I
permit.
take full responsibility on the
Okay.
order, not on the installation, though.
So color, I think, are
It's
they,
bronze,
bronze?
yeah.
is there a schedule?
There's no schedule.
It's all the. On the front, it's all what, picture window or sliders or casement?
Storefronts.
Yeah, but any like single hung, like horizontal sash kind of windows, you know?
No, they're all like the pivot, outdoor pivots. On the
Casement.
sides and on the front, you have slides, they open. We can,
Well, Well, I think we could ask for that before we submit, before we issue the permit. I think they've already done the work. What's 2 more weeks asking for an additional thing? But we could prove it. I mean, I believe that you are doing it for your
Yes, for
master
the
plan.
plans, of course.
Yeah, but it's just, the sub permit should have a schedule and a plan showing each location, of the window, which is what we don't have on here.
Okay, so then we can postpone until 2 weeks and let me just go back with those comments. Because honestly, the permit runner submits everything for us. I would assume this was on it, but
Yeah, it's just, no, it's just all of the individual details, but nothing that just has a schedule and a plan telling you, okay, window 1 is this one, window 2 is this one, window 3 is.
okay. So if we can postpone
Last
it.
page?
Motion to table 6C pending window schedule and site plan.
Second.
So we need a schedule and a site plan.
Site
If
plan
it's the-
with all the windows delineate, numbered.
The
where-
NOAs as well?
No, the NOA is for, like, that's for the building department, right?
Right.
Yeah, we just want to see what kind of windows you're,
Just show them the permit before, exactly what. they
Yeah,
did,
an
and
example.
pretty much it. That was a motion by Ed and Scarlett, right?
Yes.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
so, basically they've got a floor
Can I get a
plan.
picture?
Sure.
for
This is actually a
reference?
more complicated one than it needs to be, but
Something it's.
a floor plan and then it just calls out individual numbers for each window.
You got that?
So then we can look
Doesn't
at
sound
what
like-
type of window that is. Because then there's usually a schedule, which is here, right?
Yeah,
So they've got the mark or the window number and what kind it is, like configuration with, because all we really care about is the windows facing the street.
It's not in the package.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of the plan.
So, all the way back up to the top of your package, application. And general notes, and it gets right into like all the detailed elevations, right? But these are okay, cool sliders, but I don't know where those go in the house, right? And then if I just go here quickly, there's just this,
Usually it's one of the first pages.
like individual panel sizes and stuff. These are all like
Yeah.
stock details, right? But there's nothing that says, oh, okay, here's a floor plan for the house and where this stuff, which is again, all anchor capacities.
Right. Well, they're talking about that real quick. Anybody here for Dunoff? No?
Right.
1016 Northeast 114th Street? No? Okay. Palo, see you later, thank you. Alessandro Palo Ucci? Nope. Lamore? Nope. Okay, so next will be, I believe they're here, 11095 Griffin Boulevard, 2 manual rolling driveway gates, Purpose Holdings. Closer.
Hey, how's it going? So yeah, so basically, I submitted an application to install 2 manual rolling gates. I do want to apologize for having installed them without the necessary permits. But yeah, but I think there's 2 parts to this. I think we're gonna deal with the variance request later on.
Yes.
Yeah, so
It's now, you want the motion to deny for now?
So these are 2 manual rolling driveway gates. How high are they? That doesn't say on,
6 feet.
they're 6 feet?
Yep.
Okay.
They're currently not there anymore. I mean, I took them off to comply.
So our code states no fencing in the front yard and gate is a part of a fence. And so, we've done without a permit and so now they're here. So motion,
Deny?
second, David, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
You want to discuss this variance now or later?
Let's just clear up and then we can, I mean, it's gonna be,
Got it.
let's get these people.
We'll come back to the-
Just give us a second, sir. We'll come back. I don't sign it. If it's denied, I usually don't. All right. So, because if you sign it, sometimes it might. All right, Chiafino, nobody here for Chiafino? Nope. Okay, so the next will be 6J, 11610 Northeast Sixth Avenue, tile to tile re-roof, Bernadette, Dorcius. Sure. You're replacing a tile roof with a tile roof and it looks like it's a gray S tile,
Yes,
new roof,
yes,
and it's the entire roof, it looks like?
the entire roof.
Okay, any questions?
To approve?
Okay, Ed, David, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. That was good.
Appreciate you bringing the sample. You're
Bring
good
the
to go.
sample in. We love that. It
Thank
makes it
you.
so much
All
easier.
right.
You're good. Thank you. All right, next will be 6K 11638 Northeast Seventh Avenue carport installation.
Oh,
Oh,
we
we
did
just
that.
did that. Okay, table. Okay, we just approved that. Is that here? Okay, and the next will be 6L 11701 Northeast Ninth Avenue, partial demolition of the Chaps design.
Yes. Hi, good night. Sorry, this is my first time working with the city, so I'm trying to figure out how handle this permit. I submit the demolition permit, and then I receive an email that I need to come to this meeting.
Okay.
That is all.
So this is the house that we worked with you on.
We have the master permit approved.
Okay, so then, I mean, it's just a formality, really, right?
Yeah, I mean, you have to come through the board, but it's not like you had to personally be here. Just, it had to be an agenda item that came through here.
Oh, okay,
So
okay,
it says
okay.
partial demolition. So there's an existing house, you're keeping some of it.
Yes.
Yeah, they're keeping a lot of the main structure, if you remember correctly. That's the one they're doing the back with the little house. in the
Yeah,
back.
I remember
All
the
kinds of-
design. I didn't realize
Very
they were
cool.
integrating it with the existing house. So.
Yeah.
They need the temporary fence permit.
Yeah, is there a construction fence?
Yes, a temporary, so permit is submitted on Saturday.
It'll be on the next.
Yeah.
Oh, so for that permit, I need to come,
You don't
Mhm.
need to come. It has to again be on here.
okay?
And as long as it has the little highlighted area that you're putting up and everything, and it says that it's like, chain link.
Yeah,
fence,
chain link fence, a
that's
temporary
all
chain link
that-
fence, 5 feet height with, green mesh,
Yeah,
and that's it.
so yeah, you don't need to come here, but we have to vote to.
Oh,
approve it.
okay.
So that'll happen at the next.
I have a question for the other two permits because I received an email that I need to submit a permit for the trash and for the temporary toilet.
Yeah, that
that's-
wouldn't come here. That would
That's
just be
actually-
something you deal with the building department for, pay a fee for the, you know.
Oh, okay, perfect. So I submit the application and that's it.
and
Yeah,
then
that
process
doesn't
the-
have to wait for us.
Oh, okay. And I have another question. For all the sub permit that I need to submit for this project, I need to come for roofing, plumbing,
Yeah.
roofing, pool, trusses.
Yeah, again, you're not
agreements.
obligated to come here,
Okay,
but it's always a good idea if you're available in case like, there's a question and, you know, if you're here, you can answer it and it gets approved. If you're not, maybe it gets tabled and you wait 2 more weeks.
okay, perfect. Okay, perfect. So,
As long as, I mean, you have your drawings are really good. So, I mean, you don't have to be here, but but if we had a question about the lot coverage of the pool or the setback of the pool, we would, it would be a question, actually. Get the demolition permit really quick.
well,
Is that pool into the side setback? I mean, it just caught my attention.
well,
Look at the, impervious versus pervious.
I don't know if their hardscape is maybe, but not the pool, the water.
Huh?
I
The
don't know
water
what
line, looks like,
Hardscape is, but maybe not the pool, maybe not the water.
on the side plan is, show the pool.
yeah, I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
like
I mean, I was just saying that you probably don't need to come because normally your drawings are really
Okay.
done well. But I'm looking at your impervious versus pervious and
Oh,
you're showing the dotted line that shows the setbacks of the space.
okay.
And it looks like the pool is sticking into the side setback there.
Yeah,
By a
again,
couple
unless
feet.
It's just a walkway, which then will be okay, right? I don't know where the.
Is that the
walkway
deck or is that the water line? Yeah. So that would be something that we would go, whoop, hold on,
Okay.
what is this? You
So
know,
maybe I need to check the setback of the pool when I submit the permit for the
Yeah,
pool.
For the pool.
Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
perfect.
Anyways, in the meantime, motion to approve
Second.
contingent to submitting a fence permit as well. right?
Okay, so I
I don't
need,
want you to start demo
I-
if you don't have a proper fence in place.
yeah, I start the permit, but I have not been able to submit the actual plans for demolition because.
It's fine. You'll get approved tonight. It just means that before you start demo, put your fence up.
Oh, okay, perfect, perfect.
all right, so that was Ed and then second. David. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. All right, so we did have a, I think this is, Lamore, right? He came in?
Yeah.
Okay. We are going to go back to Lamore, because he's on the agenda, 6G, 11011 Northeast Ninth Court. Re-roof, 3-ply.
With just a flat roof, new flat roof.
And it's just on, this is on the new addition, right?
Yes.
Just remember to speak into the mic.
So that was flat roof, you said yes, you weren't on the microphone, just want to make sure.
Yes,
It's on the new addition though, because this says re-roof.
we, and the new little foyer we have in the front,
Uh-huh.
and then a flat roof. It used to be entry, open entry, we close it,
Okay.
and then we need to redo the flat roof.
But is the new foyer front roof addition, wasn't that a pitch?
Yes, little pitch,
So is the pitch, you're roofing it the same as the rest of the house?
yes. No, is as a flat roof. Because a little pitch on top, just a little foyer, like a 3x10 on the front, it's like have little curve.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, if it's a flat roof and it's in the front, then, a flat roof material would be appropriate.
Yes,
If it's a pitched roof on the front, it needs to match the rest of the house.
no, it's a flat roof.
The flat roof.
View shows, because it's an existing porch that you enclosed.
Yes,
So it's
If you look at page,
low slope roof, it's not quite flat, but.
yeah, if you look at page 49, there's actually a color picture of it. And it's a flat roof that kind of slopes back towards the house where the tile roof is at. So it is a flat roof.
yes.
There's a color picture, site picture.
Oh, because you actually elevated it. Because before it was lower.
Yes.
You've actually raised. got it.
Yes, to give it a little shape.
Google Street views.
Ye- Yes.
So if you guys are good. You can't put, like, you wouldn't put tile on there.
No.
Motion to approve.
Okay, Scarlett, David Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. Okay, motion carries. All right, we also had a walk-in here.
All good.
Thank
You're good.
you.
Thank you, sir. It's 6, I'm gonna make it 6B, and it just, I guess it has to be on the agenda for next time, but it's just a change of color. Murphy, you wanted to change a metal roof that you've already gotten approved to a bronze color? Is that?
Yeah, it's the color that I have a picture of the house.
Yeah, I don't really care what
That's
the other
6M.
house is. I just want to know what color you're proposing. Is it bronze? Is it bronze? So that's brown, that's a brown roof?
Brown, say brown. Say brown.
Yeah, brown.
Brown.
It's a brown.
Different dark brown.
Murph, just say brown.
Very
Yeah.
dark.
So that's gonna be 7B. I mean, we have to make it a discussion item, 11443 Northeast Sixth Avenue. It's Medina. He had a previous color and now he wants to change it to brown. I don't see there's gonna be an issue because he wants to move
Dark.
forward. Dark brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
So-
but he's technically
It
gonna have to
has to, we
submit.
have to come back to on the agenda in 2 weeks. But you want to move forward, knowing that we said okay.
I'm
Oh.
gonna have it approved in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So you're not on the agenda, so we can't vote on the color change, but we're telling you that in 2 weeks' time, if you're on the agenda and it's brown, it'll get approved
But that's
dark brown, yes.
It's dark.
Brown.
dark bronze.
Brown.
Manufactured. I get to see you 2 weeks. too?
Yes,
I haven't.
but, oh, actually, it's 1 week. Our next meeting is actually next Monday,
You see, look at that.
March 4th.
They're expediting things for you.
So you actually have a week. So, but you have to get an application in tomorrow for them to get it on next agenda next week. Okay. So you'll have your agenda item for next week for a dark brown, change of color. And we'll approve it based on what our feedback, everybody seems to very much okay with that. All right, you good with that, Murph?
Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
pretty good.
We'll have approved in brown.
Brown roofs. All right, so next on the agenda will be variance, 8A, 11095 North, Griffin Boulevard, two manual driving rolling gates, Purpose Holding LLC.
Hi. Um,
Good evening, sir.
good evening again. So I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the site plan or the survey that I attached, just to like put the whole thing in reference as to where the gates would be. So for a while, we've been having like a lot of mostly vehicle traffic. I guess they cut through the lot. And cutting through there basically means they're cutting
on, that's
through like a third of the property. There is a little bit of pedestrian traffic, a little bit of, we've caught some wild dogs there, or like neighbors' dogs. But the thing I'm most concerned about is definitely the cars, especially having kids. That's my biggest concern. We have a big sign outside that says, no through traffic. That seems to not be working,
You put a
so
big pot in the middle of the driveway?
I haven't tried that yet.
Planter that
A
just has
cone?
a plant in it?
Or landmines.
Not yet.
And that sign, correct me if I'm wrong, but that sign's not even, that's from Robert and Barbara, the owners before you guys.
Yeah, and they were unsuccessful with the
Yeah,
sign as well. Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, have you, they used to have people walk through all the time too, and they had, my little brother lives directly across the street from them.
Oh,
They're
okay.
they were good friends with him, and they talked about people going through all the time.
Yeah, people walk by, but I think the most dangerous thing here so eventually something's gonna happen is the cars. I mean, the people, but the cars are definitely a little scary.
All right, so we have two gates that were installed. It looks like they've been taken down. They're not there right now. But he's asking for a variance to put them back up. It's a request for a 6-foot rolling gate in the front. Right now, our code 11.6.1 location. B, no walls or fences may be located in the front yard except as provided in subsection C, which C deals with corner lots, which even with the C would not affect this application. So right now you are looking for a relief of variance for letter B of our code. Now, in accordance to that, you have to prove your point of the 4 points of the variance. You've submitted a letter, and we all have to. So what happens is we vote as a recommendation. The village commission makes the final decision. So you have to make your case to the village commission. Whether we vote to recommend or vote not to recommend, you still have a right to go to the village commission to make your case and get them to agree to it. Yeah, they still are bound by the same 4 points that we are bound by, and it's up to you to make that point of that. So, all right. So, point number 1. There are special circumstances or conditions affecting the property which are such that the strict application of the provision of this chapter would deprive the applicant of reasonable use of their land. So that's the question, whether you have gates or not on the front, is that going to deprive you of the reasonable use of your property?
I believe it does. I mean, I think when you take away like a third of somebody's land on their property, and by take away, I mean basically take away
We have 1,037 homes in the village, and we all have open front yards.
Yeah.
So what is the reasonable that you're special that everyone else is not going to have?
that I have basically.
We all can't use 1/3 of our property because we have a front yard.
Yeah, so basically my driveway connects to public roads. And vehicles basically just speed through the front of my lawn. Yeah, that's trespassing.
But also, who says that he has to have a driveway on Griffin Boulevard? Why don't you remove that portion of it and only enter and exit on 112?
Because I think that would take away value from the property. Significant, I think it adds value to have two entrances. Yeah.
So
Your special circumstance is this connecting driveway, which is causing the need for, hardship, but then it's increasing the value of the property at the same time.
No, it's retaining the original value that the driveway presented.
Okay, so your answer, just to read it, the layout of my property with a driveway connecting two public roads presents a special circumstance that necessitates the installation of rolling gates for safety purposes. heavy traffic, particularly during rush hours when vehicles are backed up from the intersection, poses a significant risk for my dogs, my children, my vehicles, potential accidents, property damage, and heightened as this traffic pattern make it imperative. So, you know, one of the solutions is removing that part of the driveway that goes out to Griffin Boulevard. So just saying that there is a solution to it, or, you know, having a pot in the middle of the driveway, stopping people from driving. So that would be number one. Do you have any other questions on the board? And then I'll move on to.
No, I would make the same point that the driveway, there's nothing stopping the homeowner from altering the driveway to not be connected between two public roads, right? It's not a condition of your property that you can't mitigate or change, right? Like people who come for variances when they want a pool on a corner lot that has very small backyard, there are conditions of their property they cannot alter, right, to change their hardship. This is a condition that would be altered by the homeowner. It's a very big front yard and a very big driveway. You could still have a circular driveway, a nice one, entering and exiting on 118th or whatever the other street is. 111, sorry, 111.
Yes, 111.
111.
So it's not an inherent innate feature of your property. It's just a design condition that could be modified, right?
And do we have, are there police reports of the police stopping? people
I
from
think,
going through?
I have a lot of images. I think the Reens even informed the police.
But I mean, do you have like reports from the police department of these people cutting through your property? They've caught people? I mean,
No, I mean, by the time you make any report, they're just gone,
Yeah,
right? So they're just
Rob-
speeding through the
Rob
property.
and Barbara used to try and have cops stay. Like they invited them into their driveway to catch people,
Yeah.
and the police were like,
yeah,
no,
no, believe me, I
don't do that.
sympathize for you, but I'm just wondering what the special circumstances.
I don't think it's a
that you cannot
solution
that you
necessarily.
cannot overcome, and the reason that you're giving is people driving through your property. So the main thing would be a solution to stopping people from driving through your property.
Close
And,
down.
as far as the safety goes, I mean, everybody in the village doesn't have except for a handful of people that all have different circumstances, the reason why they have gates, which we could talk about each one. You know, but the majority, 95% of 99% of the village have no gates. The village has made it clear they do not want the gates in the front yard. That's why our code is written the way it is. So, and then as far as security goes, you know, we do live in one of the nicest neighborhoods in village, in the county. So security wise, you know, fencing in the front yard is not, you know, again, a special circumstances that your neighbor or you, you know, that you are better than your neighbor, basically. So, all right, so part two. That the variance is necessary to preserve reservation and enjoyment of substantial property right of the petitioner. So giving you a variance is necessary just for you to have substantial property right to use your property. You have an entire backyard with a pool, right? You have a backyard already, you know.
Yeah,
So substantial property by giving you this variance, it preserves your right to be able to enjoy your property that your neighbors would not allow. Yeah.
No,
You're-
so basically, I think there's like an inherent property right that we all have to secure our homes. I don't think eliminating one of the entrances to my home is a viable solution.
So
Or like a
so is
reason.
locking your front door. I mean, that we all
Yeah,
do that.
of
Every one
course,
us
of
lock our
course.
front door and secure the-
But it's an imminent danger that there's cars driving through your property, right? So,
But again, to go back to, you have a right to have a driveway, right, to your property. We're not trying to say, hey, you know, just close your entire driveway and don't have one. You have ample space to do, again, a nice circular driveway that would preserve the value of your home. And probably frankly, increase it by not having an entrance on Griffin, to be frank. But again, you wouldn't be denied the reasonable use of your property. Like you have room to do another design of a driveway without having to cut through, right? So I don't know, points 1 and 2, I think it's just. not
There
convincing.
are alternatives, basically, you know.
at a cost, right?
Yeah, but cost is not a factor, right? So when we're looking at variances and when the commissioners do, they're not gonna take any interest in whether it costs you a bit more to change your driveway or, you know, variance is a very high threshold and cost is not a hardship.
But also there was, you know, there was no issue of paying the cost of making the gates without a permit. I mean, so I mean, you didn't pay for that without an issue.
I thought safety first, yeah. That was my first reaction. Like when I see cars flying through my driveway, and pedestrians walking by, the first thing that came to my mind is let me protect first and then deal with the consequences. Yeah.
All right. As a homeowner, it is essential for me to preserve and enjoy my property rights, including the right to ensure the safety and security of my family and belongings. The installation of rolling gates would provide a necessary barrier to protect my property and enhance our ability to enjoy our home without fear of harm and intrusion. All right, so any points, any more from the board on point number 2? Okay, number 3, that the granting of the variance will not be detrimental to the public welfare or injurious to other property in the territory in which the property is situated. So I think, you know, that could be something that I don't see how a gate would be detrimental to your neighbors, other public welfare or injurious to other property. The only thing that I would, that would concern me is if your gates are closed and when you pull up to your gate, your car sticks out into Griffin, thus causing more traffic backup while you're getting out to go open your gate. So that would be a concern of whether or not the granting of the variance would be detrimental to the public welfare.
So if you look at the setbacks, you could fit a pickup truck. They're like 17 feet deep from the property line, not the street. So there wouldn't be
On the
that.
contrary, the installation of the rolling gates would contribute to the public welfare by improving safety conditions in our neighborhood. By preventing vehicles from cutting through our property and endangering pedestrians and other motorists, we would be fostering a safer environment for all residents and visitors. Furthermore, the gates would not be injurious to other properties. Rather, they would help reduce the potential for accidents on neighborhood streets.
So there's no stop sign when you exit and onto 111th. There's no stop sign there. So people just eat an imaginary stop sign, if you would.
What do you mean, like a stop sign in the middle of the block?
No. So when they cut through my property and they come out to the other street, I think where your family member lives, there's no stop sign there. So it's basically you're creating a hazardous condition by flowing traffic in one direction with no signage.
Also, I've seen people leave there and go right, like drive through the median
Through the
and go
median, yeah.
back to Griffin. I don't know how much time that's saving them.
Yeah.
but-
Any comment on granting?
I don't think it would be injurious to the public welfare.
Okay. All right, number 4, that the variant proposes the minimum variance, which makes possible the reasonable use of the property. Okay. So my question on this one would be, if the reasoning is the cars and you are asking for this variance, why not just ask for a 3-foot high gate that closes and stop cars from coming through? Why does it have to be 6 feet high? The minimum variance, which makes possible the reasonable use of the property. So why does it have to be 6 feet high? If we were to go down the argument of allowing 6 foot.
You do have a good point there. 6 feet high would just be in my mind, the highest permissible. But I guess a 3-foot gate could do.
Okay. The variance request is the minimum necessary to ensure the reasonable use of my property, considering the aforementioned special circumstances. Without the ability to install rolling gates, my family and I would be exposed to unnecessary risk and inconvenience, which significantly diminish our quality of life and peace of mind. Do not note that the no through traffic private roadway sign placed on property entrance on Griffin Boulevard has been successful. Is that for your property or is that the entire
No,
Griffin
it's
Boulevard?
the sign's literally at the entrance to their driveway. It's if you go actually
Is
in the,
that put in by the village or by the?
no,
Sorry,
yeah, Rob and Barbara.
so the previous owner put a sign up in the front.
Yeah,
That's actually not allowed by your code. It's illegal.
he said the thing that was best at slowing cars down was all of the birds, and that's why he would feed them every
Oh,
afternoon.
that's a good idea.
But yeah,
But
so
that
that,
sign is actually legal too.
I imagine. Yeah, but yeah, it's been there since my little brother started construction 4 years ago or whatever, so I don't know how much longer before, because they lived there. People before you lived there for a long time, right?
Yeah, I think it's 2002, maybe 2000.
The variance, so any other questions on the board for the point number 4? Do you live there, sir?
Not yet.
I'm just curious because I did a, check and, it's because it's an LLC. You wonder if this is just an entire process for you to sell the house when you get the windows installed, which you're doing your windows without a permit, I think.
They have permits now. Yeah, that was a
Yeah.
big problem with I don't
So,
recommend these guys. They waved some papers at me. I asked them, you have approved permits? They waved, I guess they were drawings or something. And I let them start by accident. And then I found out through, I think, Officer
Not good
Nibs.
to order windows without a permit. God forbid we have said no, then you would have really been
Yeah, I'm sorry about
We're doing
that.
The same thing. So your plan is to actually move into the property.
Correct.
All right, so again, we make a recommendation. It is actually, we're asking for 2 manual rolling gates for the section of the code. We have to individually meet our vote. I personally unfortunately think that you're lacking on sections 1, 2, and 4 of the variance request. I don't see the, where you've convinced that those are, reasons, so I will be voting no on the variance request. And we'll go down the, David.
So based off the fact that I've seen it a bunch of times firsthand, and I do think that it's a unique property and that I don't think that happens anywhere else on Griffin or in Biscayne Park, then I vote yes.
The 4 points.
4
You
point,
feel it meets all 4 points.
okay, so if I'm voting yes, then I'm saying yes, and I guess it meets all 4 points, the way that I interpret it, maybe not exactly the way that it was written, but the way that I would interpret the protection of a family with little kids from outside people walking in, outside cars driving through at speed, and the risk to neighbors beyond this stuff.
So, right, I think that, I'm a little torn because I think that, you know, you do have good points and it's not totally a frivolous, I just want this kind of ask, but also, you know, there are other options that, you know, were brought up, that could kind of solve your issue as well. So I think my vote is no.
Yeah, I would just, let me say that I don't mind gates in front of homes personally. In fact, I think homes on Griffin and homes on East Sixth Avenue should be treated differently than homes throughout the village personally because of the traffic flow. But what I do have concerns with is the utilization of a variance process, which I think should be a very high threshold. It should be reserved for cases of actual need where there is no alternative. And I just think here there are plenty of solutions that wouldn't require variance to solve this particular problem. So I would be against granting variance.
Okay. I'm just
And this
curious.
is a recommendation.
Yeah, we don't decide.
We're not saying
You're going,
it's your variance, we're just, now we are giving our recommendation that the board with a vote to 3-1 said we don't feel that this is a candidate for this variance. And so you have the right to go into the village commission, you know, and state your cases.
Okay.
yeah, and one thing I always tell people that come for variances and for whatever reason they don't get the support of the board is listen to our feedback so that you can prepare yourself better for when it really matters, which is with the commissioners, right? So you've heard what our thoughts are. Use that as ammunition so that when you go to because they're gonna ask the same thing, make the same comments, make the same points. Be prepared to address them with them and maybe convince them.
Okay. Understood. All right. Thank you.
Best of luck.
Okay, so next, we're back up to the top of the agenda. We have the minutes from our previous meeting, which was February 12th, 2024. Location, this is what they were asking for the variance and where they does not meet the 4 points of verification. 1 voted yes, 3 voted no. Oh, am I- oh. Perfect moment. Okay.
You do TPO? Just,
Here,
or if you do TPO roofing systems or just, you do TPO roof? Yeah. I have a flat roof TPO. And it's disadvantage.
did anybody have any?
And it's
comments?
disadvantages as well.
No.
Yeah, yeah. Unless you get little nails popping up in your decking and, yeah, or birds. I've heard of birds pecking at it and putting little penetrations. Yeah. Yeah, I know, I'm aware.
May I get a motion, please? I'm sorry.
Motion carries.
Second.
David, Ed, on favor, say aye. Aye. Motion
Aye.
carries. All right, next will be 6A, 528 Northeast 21st Street, driveway Maria Zani Mullen.
Doesn't help that their own drawing shows the cars parking outside of the property.
It's taking forever to put down. Yeah,
But,
Also, do they?
they're
have-
actually
do
showing,
they
yeah.
dimension? What's inside
Yeah,
the
I
property?
didn't see it. It also looks like they have an existing fence in the front yard.
What is this? Hold on. 528 Northeast 121st Street. Oh.
Oh, it doesn't look like that's.
It doesn't look like it's the providing
Driveway width
the parking on front of the
is
property.
18.
They don't have the
So
link.
the depth, I would say, probably 14.
And it has a 30, is there a 30-foot setback?
It's not, 25'9".
Yeah, and it definitely does have a front yard fence. This is posted.
Is that a new fence?
It
Existing.
doesn't appear to be, and also I think that that's a, I don't remember if I know at one point they were asking us about the bamboo covering 3-foot fences as to whether or not that was code compliance going to be cool. I don't know.
I don't know if that ever passed or
Yeah.
what happened to that. But our case in point, it looks like the most of the driveway is not on the property.
Well, they have like a carport overhang thing that has like a little trailer thing in it that is a concrete pad that's parallel to the house, but they don't have a driveway that goes to it.
Yeah.
I feel like at minimum, there should be a driveway that goes all the way to that.
But definitely it's less than 14 feet on property. It's not adequate for your size car.
So they need to move it so that those cars are, they need to bring it into the property more.
What did I?
Second.
Ed, David, on favor, say aye. Aye.
How you guys doing?
Come on in, hang out.
You guys need this?
No, we're good.
You're welcome to chill out if you like. Mhm. Okay. hold on. So all in favor, say aye to denial.
Aye.
Aye.
The reason being is that they need to provide parking on their property of at least 14 feet.
Yeah.
No, right there, now they have just under 4. The typical parking spot is at least 16 feet.
Right.
16,
Usually
18.
18 feet. It's usually 18, but
18.
16 is, a car can fit in 16.
And when the fact that they have a covered carport that's to the west side of the house structure,
I think it's not even on the drawing that.
would we request, yeah, it's not. Would we request that the driveway extend to that? Because having a gap in driveway between the driveway and the carport also would be super cool.
Well, I mean, we'd only request it if they were trying to claim that it's part of the parking surface.
Yeah, 'cause right now
Right now
they
it's
say
a
it's a
patio.
covered.
I know,
Wow.
it's a patio on the property.
That they just happen to have a little RV park.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
All right, okay, I mean, I'm fine with that.
So we denied it, okay. All right, next would be 6E, no, I'm sorry, 6D, 1014 Northeast 116th Street, impact windows and doors, Richard and Blaine Dunup. The Sears, the one that's next door to Sears all help. 1014 Northeast 116th. Yeah, they look like they're all horizontal sliders with fixed on page number 3. They show all the elevations. Black frame, clear glass. The door. Pretty good.
Motion to approve.
David Ed, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Oh, it's more just like who's doing these, it's a custom color. Yeah, there's no A for black.
It's like, yeah.
I just
we're allowed
realized,
to have
I was
black.
just at the, haven't been in Marlin Stadium in forever, and I was there yesterday. It's a monster there.
So next would be 6E,
Sure.
1016 Northeast 114th Street, replace wooden fence.
Of the stadium, I was like, damn, making a lot of money.
1016.
The only part that, although, one thing that's interesting is they're making that a wood gate and the other side says wooden chain link gate. Don't the two need to match?
What is the replace wooden fence?
There's a little small thumbnail sketch on the third page.
Area to work?
Yeah, it's just on the right-hand side of the, from the corner of the house to the property line.
Yeah.
But we're just wondering what the other side looks like. David was noting that it's-
Cause it says wood and chain link, so it's like, I think our little rule is that the two sides have to match.
Does anybody can do a Google? I don't think you're gonna be able to
Yeah.
see it because there's a lot of landscaping in front of it.
Yeah, you can't, you can't see it, what the left side is, so I can't see it. I can't care.
Yeah.
Motion to approve.
Second,
Okay, David Ed, or Ed David, I'm sorry, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
And it's actually replacing something that's already.
Yeah, and in the Google Street View, you do see the existing wood fence that they're replacing. You just don't see the other side.
Do we approve that? Okay, next would be 6F, 1040 Northeast 121st Street.
so basically they applied because they know that you live on the street, they're like,
I don't even
we're
know, this is
replacing.
an Airbnb, I don't even know.
Oh,
what the
okay.
owner is. I just see cars every weekend, that's a different car. And actually remarkably, it's actually been fairly quiet, you don't really. It's, I got a big backyard, so I think they stay out in the back, you know, the rentals stay out in the back. They never asked me to come down.
Oh, is this a revision to a approved plan? 'Cause it looks like a revision.
For the fence?
Yeah, for.
Oh, because they made a little cloud.
Is 6F a existing permit?
Yeah, it's confusing because it has, it's like two different things.
So this guy, I just realized, so I don't know if I'm supposed to do a recusal thing on this or not. He used to be an intern for me like 10 years ago. and he saw me on the website, and he was like, hey, I'm just changing like the gate, I'm putting in on one side and changing a gate on the other, because he has a dog and a little kid. So the only thing he was doing is those two front end pieces.
Do you have any financial interest? in
no.
this? Okay, so
No, I have,
You don't need to recuse yourself. They're not.
Yeah.
related to
Cause
you.
yeah, knowing people in the village, if that was a cause for recusal, we'd all be half
yeah.
the time not being.
Yeah.
So-
So he was just like, wait, why are you on, is there's not another David Gruen? I was like, no, he's like, oh, I'm supposed to be coming before because he wanted to close in his backyard so his dog.
I mean, it's clouded like it's a change. I don't know if that was an architectural. This has not been in front of us before, has it? This is a brand new permit.
No, it's strange because on one of them, it's got, they like flipped it. They did the three things and
Well, I'm gonna go by the one dated 2/13, that's the latest, which is the last one. with the cloud.
So the last drawing dated 2/13 is the one we're voting on, which is the last one. So, yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. so.
no, I'm fine with it.
And there's no pool in the back or anything. It doesn't look.
Motion.
Second.
And David, all in favor, say aye. All right, next will be 6I, 11122 Northeast 89th Avenue, replacing, adding gates, Yang Shiafino. Is that correct? Shiafino is correct. That's the correct name? Johnson get double gate, aluminum 6 foot high, aluminum 6 foot high. Chain link, which is in the rear. That's fine, you can have chain link fence in the rear.
Motion to approve.
Second.
David Scarlett, all in favor, say aye. All right, next will be,
I think that's everything except for the 7A we aren't doing because they didn't come.
no, I'm sorry, 7A was, I'm sorry, I should have pulled it at the beginning, was moved to the next meetings.
Oh,
7A is not being considered. And 7B, which is what would have been 7A, is the brown roof that will have to be on the next agenda. All right. Any further business?
No. And I
Um,
assume the next one's gonna be a fairly short agenda because there's only a week in between the two.
Yes, our next meeting would be March 4th, which is a week from now. Everybody good with that? We're all shaking our heads, yes?
Yes.
All right, so 7:46, so I have a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
David, all good, say aye, aye.